assistance programs in the United States are very hard to qualify for. It's like either you're starving or you don't get any help. But what defines starving? Like, if you don't eat for a day, are you starving? In their eyes, no, but in your eyes and the way you feel, of course.
I was 20 years old, and at the time I was living in a house with no heat. The conditions of the house, my son was losing his vision. What was happening was that the mucus buildup in his eyes was actually going into his eye. So I was constantly in the emergency room with him. Every time I would go to the emergency room, a lady would come in and just ask me if I was willing to answer some questions as far as if I had a working stove, a refrigerator, and all those sorts of things in the home. And every time she would come in, I was just like, no, I don't want to answer the questions. And she said, they're completely anonymous. I'll give you a $10 gift card to Target. And I was just like, no. She told me that she was intrigued by my story and that these questions were supposed to remain anonymous, but if with her permission, can she take down my information? So I didn't know what I was doing, but I figured, I've already said this much, so I might as well. She felt like if she met someone like me who actually lived through the circumstances, that if I went with her, then maybe they would get a better understanding of what it was like and what is actually going on and what works and what doesn't work.
I do get food stamps now, but they last about 3 weeks out of the month. And for that last week, I'm just going crazy.
Was it good?
Mm-hmm. Put them in there.
So Witnesses to Hunger started off just me and her with this idea to take pictures of my life and what it's like to be me. And
was inadequate. Most of my colleagues had no idea that the average food stamp benefit was $3 a day. I had my budget, and I went to a supermarket, and it took me an awful long time because you have to add up every penny, and it has to last you for a week. And so I did it, and I will tell you, I was tired, I was cranky, I couldn't drink coffee because coffee was too expensive. I mean, there were people who were living on that food stamp allocation, and you really can't.
Since August, I lost my job. I had to get on public assistance to be able to have some type of income coming into the house. What's that?
Train.
The train coming. I'm struggling so much every day to be able to even feed my kids every day.
A Place at the Table premiered March 13th of 2013. That's when it went in theaters and DVD and everything. And at that point, I felt like my nightmare was reliving itself because it's like I don't know, at times I don't know whether or not I made the right decision on exposing not only my life, but my children's lives, because it's documented. It's gonna be there for the rest of our lives and even after we're gone. As the years went on with them filming me, it's like, no matter how much things got better, no matter how many different venues I went to go speak and share my story, I would still come home to an empty fridge.
For us, it was an exercise that ended in a week. For millions of other people in this country, that's their way of life. Every day is a struggle, just to eat.
And what people fail to realize is that obesity and malnutrition go hand in hand, because when you are food insecure and you don't have enough food to eat, and you have, let's say, $3, and you go to the supermarket, you can get about a 12-pack of oodles and noodles for maybe $2.99 or those $3. If you get it on sale, you could probably even get them for 99 cents. And then you have these fruits and these vegetables that are maybe $4.99 a pound. And when you are in these circumstances, you have to make a smart decision.
All my life, I know what it's like to eat oodles and noodles 7 days a week, 3-4 times a day, because that's all we had, and cans of Chef Boyardee. And when I had my children, I said I would never, ever let them taste it, just because that was my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But life brings you situations and circumstances, and it's up to you to be able to deal with it and find a way to get through it.
It's a good way of helping people who don't experience food insecurity or who might not be as familiar with it for them to still realize that there's a problem and that they can do something about it.